Hey everybody, this is Dave Cohen. We are on the Guitar Tales Fireside Chats. I have no idea what number we're up to. I think we're at 6 or 7 right now. But we've got Johnny Compton from West Virginia. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
I'm thrilled to have you. So special thanks to Scott, Guitarmacist Engel.
Yes, sir.
You guys go way back to Killer Bee Guitars, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, man. Got to know Scott through Killer Bee. He's become a really good friend. I'm always like telling him to bring the smoking jackets to West Virginia, but we don't pay quite enough down here. That'd be a pretty good trip for him, but man, just a great dude. I really like
he
him.
really is. Our little factoid: when we had a band that had no gigs, no singers, and no songs, he was my keyboard player.
Oh, he's a fine keyboard. I said a lot of people don't know about him, man. He's an amazing singer, amazing guitar player, amazing keyboard player. I mean, the guy is he's a triple threat.
No, he's quadruple then. You know, he's a drummer too.
I did not know that. So
His dad.
Yeah, he's just he's an all-around monster. So there you go.
Yeah, and every so often, if you look at the right picture he puts on social media, his guns are pretty good too. With his tricep, you know. So you hail from when you're in West Virginia. Where do you originally hail from?
I was actually born. I was an Army brat for the first few years of my life.
You lived everywhere, right?
Yeah, I was born in Walter Reed Hospital, and at that time it was in Washington D.C. But my parents split up, and I came to West Virginia. I actually Pocahontas County, Marlton, West Virginia, which is a little tiny town in the middle of West Virginia.
Right.
I came there when I was I think it was in second grade, and I've been here ever since. I mean, there's nothing like West Virginia. West Virginia is kind of a state in a mentality unto its own. You know, it's kind of in between the north and the south.
Right,
you know, so
right.
I feel like you get kind of the best of both worlds there. You know.
Now you're above the Mason-Dixon line, though, right?
Yeah, we're above the Mason-Dixon. Yeah, West Virginia actually was Virginia during the Civil War. We left to join the northern side. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I spent many years on the road as an electrician, and we were working a job in Richmond, and there was this really crusty, old, hateful local guy there, and he said, I was sitting with my buddy, and he said, "Y'all from West Virginia?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Y'all deserters. You left us during the Civil War, you know." And my buddy was eating the sandwich, and he looked up and he goes, "Didn't take us long to figure out who's going to win that scrap, mister." There you go. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I've only been through it a few times on longer drives, but it's gorgeous out there. Absolutely gorgeous.
Nothing like it, man. I've been all over the place, all up and down the East Coast. Like I said, I was doing electrical work and touring, play music, and you know, it's just there's nothing like it. West Virginia, there's a whole different. It's like a whole different world, actually. To be honest with you, I love it.
I bet it. And you know, you guys get a bad rap.
Yeah, we do, and you know, in some ways deserved. You know, but there are rednecks and hillbillies everywhere.
No, there are. We've got a lot in Jersey. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I can imagine. New York, I was up in New York a couple of times. I was like, I mean, they bag on us. What the hell, man? I mean, I've never seen so many rednecks in all my life.
Oh my God! If you get out of this New York City and Long Island, it's no different.
It's our country. But we catch a bad rap. I mean, like I said, you know, they're just like any state. You know, there's good and there's bad. It just depends on what you want to expose yourself to.
That's a great way to put it. I like that. So, so you as a guitar player, part of the draw to getting you on our show, we're very appreciative that you did the show with us.
Oh man, you guys are awesome. I mean, there are not many shows like this out there. You know what I'm saying? Where you can sit down and yourself being a musician, you know, and just talk music and talk influences and talk about and I really want to be a part of it. I really.
We're thrilled to have you. And one of the things we try to do here, even though it's not mainly about the music. It's mainly about the people who happen to play music.
Right.
You know. Right. You know, so it's kind of cool.
It's just really as I told you before we started recording, interviews are a little weird for me. I'm not really good at this, you know. But make it the way you handle your interviews, man. It's more like just talking to a friend. So
Well, that's, I truly appreciate that. And, one of the things that we said in our last show, we had Alex Scooby on. I said, we start the show as strangers, and when they're done, we're friends,
absolutely.
So.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. We were so happy to get you. Besides the fact that Scott said you're a great guy, and I could already tell that, you are a prolific collector of endorsements. So you've been incredibly successful in endorsing. And I'm wondering, what started all that, and we'll cover some of the companies that you're an endorser for.
Well, man, it started a while back. I was in a band called the Black Cross Brotherhood, a heavy metal band, and we had gotten hooked up with this manager, and the guy, he kept talking about there was this guitar company that we could get an endorsement with, and of course things went south with the manager, and we never heard anything else. Well, I was at the point in my playing, I've been playing so many years, and I never obviously had an endorsement by anybody, and I thought, man, what could it hurt to try?
So, it's always about just ask. The worst I can say is no.
Yeah, exactly. That's about my feelings. I mean, the worst they could say was no. They weren't going to put me in jail or anything. So
right.
The company was called Zane Guitars, and I contacted them, and good friend, I became a good friend. Jeremy Nitch was working with them.
Okay.
And I approached him, in the way of, hey, I was in this band, and my manager said you guys were interested in us, and he was like, well, I didn't know anything about that, but he goes, but we do. Do artist type stuff. He said, do you have anything you can send me? So I sent him some music, and he got back to me, and he was like, yeah, man, we would like to work with you. And it just kind of snowballed from there. The thing with Zane, it imploded and fell apart, but it led me to Von York Strings, Rosario Panzarella, and Von York Strings, which led me to Killer Bee Guitars.
So I'm gonna cut you off a little bit. So you got Von York Strings.
Yeah.
You had Killer Bee Guitars.
Yeah, I went to Killer Bee.
Look at the lawyer on me. I'm taking notes like it's a deposition. But I want to sort of get us a little list together. So you got, who else do you have?
So, I'm no longer with Killer Bee. Killer Bee shut down. Kevin had decided to get out of it. So now I'm working with a company.
They got stung.
Yeah, there you go.
That was bad. Sorry.
Good one. So I'm working with a company called DTH Guitars now, and
DTH
Guitars, yeah. David Hargraves is the CEO and head luthier, and I'm really excited about working with him, man. I mean, he's one of those kind of guys that just has a knack for building guitars, and he's really his attention to detail is beautiful and perfect. He does great work. I've seen a lot of his stuff, and we're working on the guitar that we're working on. And he was like, well, pick from our, my list of stuff here, of styles, and
that's great.
Yeah, we'll go from there. We'll make it yours. So I picked this guitar. It was called the Cerberus, and it had in his ads and stuff. It had a Floyd, and I've got a lot of guitars with Floyd Roses, and I didn't want another one. So
you don't use those?
It's not necessary all the time, and I do different tunings, and I wanted a good guitar that I didn't have to worry about that with.
Right, because you're gonna get a little slippage if you get a little too crazy with it. Right.
Tuning with a Floyd Rose, you're in a bad place. But he was like, well, I've actually never made that guitar without a Floyd Rose. He goes, you'll be the first, so this is going to be your model. So
I love that
AC model. I mean, so that was really honored that he would do that.
So you got to fit just a regular fixed bridge on it.
It's Babbitt's fixed bridge. It's really, that's another thing I like about him too. Everything he uses is extremely high end, parts, and he does not fool around. I mean, you're not going to get a Chinese plastic volume something with your $1,000 guitar,
Or like shitty machines or something like that.
Yeah, he's really talented, man, and he's actually turned into be quite a brother. I mean, he's kind of one of those kind of guys that has your back no matter what. I'm just really impressed with him. I really enjoy working for him.
That's really great.
So then after that, it was I believe Spectraflex cables. I went to them. I worked with them. Corbett cabinets, amp cabinets. In-tune guitar picks, uh, and custom audio mutation, man, that was the big one for me.
What was it called?
Custom audio mutation. They're out of Akron, Ohio, so they're pretty close to me. But my good friend Richie Randall from Grapehugger hooked me up with Turin Murphy, is the guy that runs the company and does all the work. And the guy, on top of being just a killer, killer builder of amps, man, the guy is one of the most monstrous guitar players I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
Right, because they're the ones who have the passion. They understand the tone that you need to get.
That was the thing that kind of killed with Zane. Zane, when I was talking to the luthier, he was like, "Well, I don't play guitar."
Oh, that's crazy.
What? What? How do you? What?
That's like there was this pizza chain up by us that I remember they opened up, and they had like the 8 million degree coal fired stove and all that. Everything seemed
right.
It was a corporate formula, and the people in there didn't have the love for pizza.
Well, see, you can do that, yeah, man.
Yeah, they're gone already. They're gone.
Yeah, you're already.
And they deserve to be gone.
Yeah, you're 2 strikes, man. You're out.
If it's a corporate formula, so that's great.
And like I said, I've just been really. The thing about the endorsements is, I mean, I don't think there's really any magic or formula to doing it or getting them. I mean, it's just a matter of fact that all they can do is say no to you. Right. And I found that just approaching people, and just starting on a conversation was my newest one. I was with Von York Strings for 3 years, and just he said Rosario got me in Guitar Player magazine. I was in Guitar Player magazine in an ad, which was obviously a dream come true for me. I'm some hillbilly from West Virginia, and I'm in Guitar Player magazine. Right. But Rosario shut down. It was getting to be too much. I mean, with the guitar, especially with strings, it seems to me, unless you're like one of the big dogs like Ernie Ball or D'Addario or something like that, it's extremely hard to get stores to take a chance on you. And Rosario, that's what Rosario ran into. I mean, he couldn't get the strings into stores, and it was it got to be too much, and he had to go. But he when we parted ways, he closed his doors. He said, "I'm going to send you a severance package." I was like, "What's that?" And dude, that was 2 years ago, and I just ran out of the strings. He sent me a box of strings. I think he did the same thing with Scott. Just a massive box of strings, and he was like, "Here, man, this is the inventory, But so I spent some time here as my Von York started getting low. I was like, "No, I got to find something." So I looked around, and of course the big guy. I played Ernie Balls for years, and they just weren't working for me, And so I found a small company out of Pittsburgh called MJC Ironworks. And
that's a cool name for strings.
Yeah, they're treated string like to a point like what Von York was, not to the Von York was, I mean, amazing. They're amazing strings. His process was just revolutionary. And these guys do the same thing. They treat strings, but it's not quite as in depth as what Von York was. But these strings, I mean, they're really, really good strings. Their customer service is really good, which is big with me. When I work with a company, I want it to be more like a family than, as a boss and,
you're one of the minions. You don't want to be a minion.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to, I purposely work as hard as I can promoting these things, promoting whoever I'm working with, taking pictures, doing demos, putting stuff on YouTube, up on Facebook, and trying to, push that. So, these guys, what was really weird about the MJC Ironworks, I'd sent them an email or a text, and the guy was talking to me, and he goes, "Well, man, who are you playing with now?" And I told him, I said, "Well, I do all these gigs." I said, "Nobody right now, obviously, but I play in a band called Mother's Nature." And he goes, "Mother's Nature? I saw you guys at the casino in Charleston."
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, man. He said, "I worked there for like 6 weeks. I saw you guys like twice." And I was like, "Wow, man, that's crazy. It's a small world. I mean, you never know."
And it's done. It's all over when there's that interpersonal connection like that.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. And he's also from West Virginia. He grew up in Wheeling, West Virginia. So, I mean, you never know who you're talking to. I mean, I think probably a mistake a lot of guys make when they approach companies is coming off as the gunslinger. You know what I mean? I've done this and I've done that. It doesn't really matter.
No, it's the person. It's the person.
It is. It's a lot of the person, and you have to show them that you're going to do the work. I mean,
Right,
you're
right.
gonna, you know, with my case, in a normal year, which this is obviously not a normal year, but in a normal year, I play between 150 and 200 gigs a year.
Wow.
I mean, I play constantly. I mean, if I'm not playing, I'm doing demos or promoting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, it's to finish up on your, or to dovetail on your thought. So one of my guitars that I bought used on Facebook Marketplace was a bootlegger guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a great guitar. And I put it on the show. I was very manipulative. I kind of talked about it on the show a little bit.
Right.
A day later, my new friend is Chuck Wilson, who owns the company.
All right. See,
You know, and we chatted a little bit. I'd still love to see if we can get them to endorse our show, or, you know, to be a sponsor of the show. But, you know, like, I've got his cell phone number. We talk all the time. He wanted me to come to Nam. Is it Nami or Nam? I don't even know. No, that's just what I know.
Or Nam. That's just, it's kind of a, you know.
Oh, Nami, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever you say. You know.
But yeah, and then this thing. So I'm trying to get First Leaf to sponsor our show, because I drink a bottle of wine just about every show.
There you
So
go.
why don't we get a sponsor for that? So you're the king of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I tracked down the CEO last night, and I cyber stalked him. I sent him a Facebook message. I said, "You won't hear from me again unless you write back."
Right.
But they make great wine, so I figured, why not? But
I mean, once again, what these guys are looking for is people that are in a position to put their product in front of people. I mean, that's the biggest, that's the number one thing with sponsorship and endorsements. You have to show them that you're going to have put their product in people's faces, you know, and that's what I try to do, whether it's gigging or, you know, promotions on Facebook or on here. And, you know, you just gotta do the work. I mean, it's like anything else in life.
This is a great thing, because I don't know anything about that world. So in the world of a hardworking 150 gig a year musician, so you get the gig for, I'm going to look at my notes here, custom audio mutation. Doesn't matter. Any of your companies for which you're a sponsor, what are you actually doing to promote them day to day, week to week?
Well, I mean, with me, it's anytime I'm approached, you know, which you get approached a lot at shows, you absolutely make the point of letting these people know exactly what you use and how to get a hold of them. And then in your everyday, like through the week stuff, I mean, do videos. Go Facebook Live and say, "Hey, look, this is my amp. This is what I'm using, man. These things are awesome. Play some stuff. Show them how awesome the amp is." And then say, "Look, man, contact Kern Murphy here at Custom Audio Mutation." You know, it's just a matter of, especially these days where, you know, we're not playing as many gigs this year. Your internet presence needs to be much more profound, much bigger.
Well, this shows you how little I know. So will they ever, like, give you a call and say, "Johnny, we want to do a photo shoot"? Like, will they ever call you in to do something?
Yeah, well, John York did that. I mean, that's how I got put into Guitar Player magazine. Rosario was like, "Look, man, you know, we're going to do a professional shoot," and you know, so, you know, we went down and rented out a bar downtown, and, you know, got professional photographers with lights and all this bunch of stuff. And it was my diva moment. I really enjoyed that.
That's really cool.
I like being fond of her occasionally. So there you go.
Well, who doesn't, right? And you know what's really cool? Like, so for any guitar player to say that they've been in Guitar Player magazine, I mean, think of the other folks who've graced their pages. I mean, you know, everyone, like all our heroes, Jimmy Page, you know, Jimi Hendrix, my dear friend, I don't know him, but Pete Townsend, that's my hero, you know. You know, but you've been in the same pages as your heroes. How cool is that?
That was definitely a bucket list moment, man.
Yeah.
Remember he told me about that, I will, you know, till the day I die, be eternally grateful to Rosario.
Oh my God! I mean, you know, there's other guitar magazines, but Guitar Player is the magazine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's,
you know, I told Rosario, you know, he's from up y'all's way too, and I told him, I said, you know, you guys call Springsteen the boss. I said, but you will be the only man I ever call boss. So,
oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, you were in the same magazine as him.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Now, what are your musical tastes? Are they varied? Is it kind of
Very
focused?
varied, man. When I came up playing music here in West Virginia, around here, man, if you don't play a little bit of something, everything, you don't work. And especially when I was coming up as a player, you would play you 4-hour gigs, and one
That's a
set.
long gig.
Yeah, it's a long gig. But
Yeah.
it's usually like 15 minutes, and you get a 10-minute break, and But you may one set play Hank Williams, and the next set be playing, Megadeth. So
Right.
they want variety. And
Right.
as I was learning to play, I would delve into all these things. And once you do that, man, I think that's a mistake a lot of players make. I mean, they're closed-minded to other styles of music.
Right.
I mean, I love listening again, Hank Williams, as much as I love listening to Pantera. You know what I mean?
Right,
I mean, I
right.
everything. But if you wanted to label me something these days, as I've gotten older, I play Southern rock a lot. I love Southern rock. I mean,
That's what I grew up listening to.
Yeah,
In New Jersey.
The name of the Steel Company. This is one of my bands. I have my son playing bass with me. My oldest son plays bass with me.
Oh, that's great.
And it's just basically a Southern blues rock band. I mean, it's just nothing, but it's just joy. That's what
So you must play Southbound, right?
Oh yeah, we're working with Southbound. We do a lot of Blackfoot and almonds. Do some more almonds. Just stuff that kind of gets lumped in. Like blues rock kind of gets lumped in with Southern rock a lot. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite right now, well, it has been for years, is Government Mule. Warren Haynes is just, I've seen him twice.
What do you say, Government Mule?
Yeah, Government Mule.
I've heard a little bit of their stuff. Everyone tells me how great they are. I have to admit, I don't know
They
them.
are absolutely one of the best bands working. And them and Blackberry Smoke are like the two big, they carry the flag for Southern rock.
Right.
But man, do yourself a favor and listen to Government Mule. Warren Haynes is seriously one of the most accomplished guitarist singers out there right now. I mean, and I've seen him live twice, and man, you can tell the greats when they hit that first note, and your skin, the hair on your arm rises up. I mean, it's just one note, and you're just so huge and so beautiful. His tone is just magnificent. I mean, he's a huge influence on my playing and my singing right now. Great slide player. I'm not such a great slide player, but he is.
Do you guys do any originals, or is it all covers?
Yeah, we are actually. And this year, my plan was, I'm working on a follow-up to Last Man Standing, which is my first solo album. My plan this year was to do that and release an Aim of Steel album. I'm working with I was going to work with another band called the Scurvy Dogs, and we were doing.
That's a great name.
Thank you. We're doing an album, so I was going to get all three of those done this year, and that's not going to happen. So there you go.
It's a little tougher. So I always brag that my first band was called Bloody Smegma.
That's pretty good, dude. That's a good one. I
didn't come up with it.
I was in a band for about 20 minutes. It was called Stink Finger.
Oh, I like that. And then my last college band before I stopped being in a band was John Doe and the Generics featuring Michael Bernstein.
That's pretty good too.
And a little trivia, Lenny's nephew. So Leonard Bernstein's nephew.
Oh yeah.
Is our bass player. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, is that pretty cool? But that was college stuff, not paid gigs. So I got to ask, you have two purple guitars behind you, I could see.
Yes. That over here.
Let me see that one. That looks like a little different.
This one was the original Killer Bee.
That's beautiful. I love the contour on there.
Yeah, she's
great headstock.
She's the original guitar. That's actually still the only one I have left.
4-bolt neck I saw. You got a 4-bolt neck. Very nice.
It's a great guitar. He did it's Floyd Rose on it, gold hardware. He did a great job with this guitar. That was my number one. My first one I ever got. Her name was Elizabeth. No, Sharon. That's Sharon. I'm sorry. I named after my mom. This is actually one of my newer ones. This is Elizabeth.
Oh, she's pretty. Oh my God.
Yeah. She's actually
Wow.
she's an Epiphone standard pro.
That that is a finish. Look at that. I'm looking at me. It's so shiny. Wait, do that again. Flip the back. That was a cool camera effect. I could see myself in the back of your guitar. That's funny. I made it ugly for a second. Oh, Jim. Oh, I love that.
I'm a connoisseur of Jim Beam.
That's
There
great.
you go.
Is that what you're drinking today? What are you drinking? You're drinking a
Well,
bottle?
Jim Beam Black. Jim
So
Beam
you, I
Black.
see,
There.
yeah,
This
a
is
beer and a cranberry juice, right?
no, that's Kentucky.
Bourbon beer, right?
Yeah, bourbon
Yeah.
barrel ale.
I like those. Yeah, like. Where they
Oh, too.
barrel.
This is Jim Beam. This is Jim Beam. So.
I thought so. Then I amended. I thought you were going to say it was like cranberry juice in one hand and beer in the other. But
Yeah, to me, there's two quintessential Southern Rock whiskeys. One is Old Granddad,
right.
and Jim Beam. And I can't stomach Old Granddad, so there you go.
Yeah.
Jim Beam
I remember when I was in my college freshman year band, our singer Katie Milak had only sang in church choirs, so we made her we made her chug whiskey to learn how to sing rock, and it kind of worked.
I was going to say that's generally the approach. I mean, that's what worked for me over the years. I noticed, well, back in the day when I first started singing, you know, I started singing because I was the guy with the loudest voice. You know, we couldn't find singers. And man, back in those days, I could sing really high. I could sing higher stuff. You know, we were doing Queensryche and stuff like that. And as I've gotten older, you know, drinking and stuff and other stuff, but I mean, we won't go into that. But anyway, it's kind of lowered my range. But to be honest with you, it kind of feel like I've, you know, found my voice. You know,
I would think it would add character to it. Just like we look better with wrinkles, I think, because it just character in our face. Yeah.
I agree. You know, that's why I let my beard go white. I mean, you know, I used to color it, you know, but, you know, you embrace it. You know, you're getting older.
Yeah.
You know, you're wiser and, you know.
Right.
The miles, you know.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Especially if you're playing rock. I think, you know, the more age you show, you become that grizzled old rocker, you know, which I think is cool.
Those are my favorites. You know what I mean? I mean, those have always been my favorites. You know, to see live. You know, you see like I said before, you see the miles on their face. You see the things they've gone through. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's to me. You know, like I said, I mentioned before, I playing in the heavy metal band Black Cross Brotherhood. As I've gotten to in the last 3 or 4 years, I mean, not to say anything against heavy metal, I still love it, still listen to it occasionally, but I mean, I'm not an angry young man anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm pretty happy with my life. You know what I'm saying? And you know, metal has lost a lot of performing metal has lost a lot of its luster for me. I mean, I don't particularly. I mean, a lot of what I do is rock based. When I play blues stuff, there's the Page licks and the Angus Young licks fly in there and stuff. But you know, it's still. I just find myself. I guess I've mellowed. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty comfortable with that. You know.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know what it is? Each stage in your life is legitimate. So when you're an angry young guy and you're playing a little Sabbath, that has its place. Yeah. And it always has to be consistent with who you are in that moment.
Exactly. I'm happily married. I've been with the same woman for 16 years, and I landed. And we've been married for 2, and I'm not angry. I mean, I'm not angry about things, and I just don't feel the need to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just I feel like Amos has got a song called I Ain't Going Out That Way. And what the chorus says is, I've lived by the sword, but I ain't going out that way. And it's just about, I wrote that about, my life, staring, I was sitting here one day and looking out the window and just kind of thinking, about every place I'd been and everything I'd seen and all, the things I've done, good and bad in my life. And, I was like, talk to myself, out of all the roads I've traveled, I think this one here's where I'm supposed to be. And it kind of song grew out of that. I'm content with my life. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of things, and things I never thought that I would ever achieve. I've achieved. Now in saying that, I am in no ways finished. There's still a million things I want to do, especially with my son. With him is still my son. My son is. I mean, I'm extremely proud of my son. Well, both of my sons. I'm extremely proud of both of my sons. But playing on stage with Jonathan every night. We call him the Revelator, John the Revelator.
I love that. Yeah, and I guarantee you, he's very proud of his dad.
Well, sometimes he is. Sometimes I make an ass out of myself. So,
well, you're still a rock guy. I mean, look.
He's actually more of an adult than I am. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. You know what I love about your reflections is that there's kind of room in music for all of those stages. You know, that there's room when you're sad. You know, there's great music when you're sad, the blues, right? Yeah. You got angry. You can either go metal or punk in those genres if you're like that. But then when you get a little older, you can sort of look back at all of that. And God knows there's room in music for that sort of contemplative part of your life. When you're looking back with appreciation and you're still pulling all of that stuff into your music, but you're not coming from a place of either anger or insecurity anymore, because insecurity fuels a lot of music too. You know, with younger people who are very insecure and they're all about the, hey, look at me. Yeah. We all still always have a little bit of the, hey, look at me, but.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you're a guitar player, you're still, for me, it's going so much from, I guess, hey, look at me to, you know, I've always said that when I die, my eulogy should be, you know, he was kind of a jerk, but man, he could play.
Who I didn't hear who you said. Your Zoom went out. Who were you just talking about?
I said, I always want people to say, well, you know, he was kind of a jerk. He really, which I try not to be a jerk. You know, I say that, but you know, you're right. You get to a certain age, and you know, I wouldn't trade any of the things I've done or went through. Not one of them. Not a single one. It's all brought me to where I am. Brought me to this road where I'm walking. So.
Yep. No, this is great. Well, you know what? What a perfect way to end the show. I have to tell you, this has really been wonderful.
It's been. I'm truly glad I'm in debt to Scott to hooking us up, man. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Well, it's my pleasure. And before we sign off right now, tell everyone how to find you. I'm assuming Johnny Compton, but give us a little more. Wait, hold on. You're fading out a little bit.
You can find me. You can find me out. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, how's that?
That's better. Good.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Where you can get me on. You can find my album "Last Man Standing" on Apple Music, Amazon Music. It's just Johnny Compton, "Last Man Standing." Any digital streaming outlet, you can find the album on there. I'm on Facebook. It's Johnny JMFC Compton on Facebook. You can find me there, and I'll give you an idea of what I'm doing. You know, that's where I'm at. Johnny JMFC at bandcamp.com. There's a few songs on there, but you know, go check out the album and you know, contact me. Let me know what you think.
No, they're gonna love it. And what we'll do is when Scott posts this for us, I'm sure he's going to tag you in the Facebook because we're old farts. We do most of our promotion on Facebook. Yeah. So this has been a great show, and more importantly, it was really enjoyable for me, at least selfishly, to get to know you. I appreciate it.
I'm glad to get to know you, Dave, and man, thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Take care.